is an origin reading for the game. So I have 3 crystals out here. I have my selenite wand. Normally, I think of this as referring to like an angelic energy coming in, but this really didn't feel like that to me this time. This time it felt more like a symbol of personal power is what it was feeling like, because it's a wand and you can direct your will through it. So that was more the energy coming through. And then the other 2 crystals, we have the amethyst. Oh wow, someone totally just popped that memory into my head. Would not have thought of that. I think I've used amethyst for a reading of yours before. Pretty sure. Give a lot of readings, so can't always obviously remember the exact crystals I use, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's some memory popping in my head where they wanted me to use the amethyst first. Like I grabbed the wrong crystal or something. Was that your reading? I think that was your reading. Okay, well, this is Tiger's Eye. This again has to do with, yeah, I didn't say what this was about. Psychic ability. This is the amethyst. This is all about psychic ability, psychic protection also. Okay, so okay, so you know what? I'll go into the candle next then, because that is making more sense to go into the candle after that. So I have my black candle here, and actually this is what I used this time. Normally I use a crystal. I didn't use a crystal this time. I used this black candle to create my sphere. So versus seeing like energy from the crystal creating the sphere, and obviously this is my energy as well that I'm using. Clearly I'm visualizing it, an energy from, you know, the guides already present in the room. And especially with a candle, you know, it's not a crystal or anything. It's an inanimate object. So clearly this isn't exactly coming from the candle, but the candle is a symbol. That's coming in again. Yeah, right. Okay. You had all the symbols in that last reading of yours. Okay. I think your guide is kind of joking, like just to be, you know, just to be clear on like who I am or something like that, because I give so many readings, like just to be clear, this is Omen here, kind of thing. He's like reminding me of this stuff, but also they're important for this reading too. But yeah, he's reminding me of the symbolism, and so he's showing me um, he was specifically saying the word symbol with this candle. So even with casting the space and stuff, he didn't have me use a crystal, he had me use a symbol. And the symbol, it isn't so much really the candle as it is the color black. And I'm feeling like this is even something that would be powerful for you, a color that would be powerful for you. And this actually, it represents a couple of things. It represents personal power. This is, and he even had me look this up a minute ago before the reading, and I wasn't aware of this. I've never looked up black or anything. It's just what I think of it as. But on this site as well, it was talking all about your personal power, things that are hidden. So this would include, you know, your intuition. So this also has to do with psychic power, which makes sense with the amethyst there as well. But also, right, also protection. He's reminding me again, the amethyst has to do with protection, which is why I felt to go to the black candle to begin with next, because black is also all about protection and also specifically psychic protection. And it's your personal power, but it's also a power that almost hides you and protects you. So it kind of cloaks you in protection. Okay. There's a pause. I have your 4 questions here. Yeah, yeah, wait a minute, no, I surrounded him in the light before the reading. You want me to surround him again? Oh, geez, he's reminding me, because that's right, I also used the candle. I don't know why I surrounded you before the reading. I don't normally do that when I don't have to get the code name. I don't know. Maybe because I just had more time because people were kind of making some noise and I was waiting for them to stop. I don't know if that's why, but whatever. I used the black candle there again. So I was visualizing like the fire going around me and the fire going around you. So kind of also cleansing with the fire. Oh, but now I'm getting the feeling I visualized this wrong. Not wrong. That's not the right word. It's not the right word. Wrong isn't the right word. Oh, jeez. Okay, guide. Anyway, okay. Just your guide is so confusing right now. What is happening? Okay, that's what I was saying. I completely forgot what I was saying. Okay, because he totally interrupted me. What? I interrupted myself? I didn't. Oh, all right. I can't think when you're doing that. Okay, anyway, now, see the fun I have with guides sometimes? Okay. I know I sound like such a crazy person to anyone who doesn't believe in this stuff, and they just see me having just these conversations with these beings that nobody can see. All right, so anyway, black though, I feel like I should do this the whole circle again, but I'm going to do it while I'm sitting. But I should do the whole circle again because it's not really about the fire, it's about the color black, like I was just saying. Okay. So I'm going to visualize this around the room again. And this time I'm going to focus on the color versus focusing on the fire. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to call the guardians again. I'm just going to do this mentally. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to surround this again. Oh my goodness. Being so specific. Okay. With the black this time, not with the fire. Okay. There's me. Your guide. I'm seeing your guide already doing this. And it's funny because your guide comes in like white light. And I feel like he specifically means like a masculine energy with the white light. I'm not done yet. Okay. But he's putting this feminine energy around you. He's having to kind of coax it up the right side. On the left, it was going fine, but the right side is taking him a minute. I almost feel like this is almost partially an aura clearing or something, but your guide is mostly doing it. Kind of feel like I'm helping though at the same time. It's something to do with, well, this is the male side, this is the right side, the masculine side. So you're not really blocked on the feminine side, but you're blocked more on the masculine side. So he's saying that sometimes it's like you can have too much discipline or you can have a lack of discipline. And this can both come from the same side. You can be too stressed about something or you can not care enough. And they can both come from the same side. And that's more an emotional thing, though. It comes from the left side. But you can be too closed off or you can be too open. I don't know where to set this. Okay, I guess I'm just going to keep it in my lap for a while. Just be very still. He's still doing this visualization. He's still doing some kind of clearing. And he's really taking his time with coming in with the information while he's doing that. He's focusing on that. He finally got up more on the right side. He's like around the ear now. And then there's almost like he hit into something. Almost like a cord. I want to say a cord. It's a cord that kind of broke all of a sudden. To the father. Supposed to the father. Something with the father, like thought forms and things that would block psychic abilities or a psychic nature, or even a more sensitive or feminine aspect of you that would want to come through. Because this is the feminine side. And he's saying that even though he's very masculine, he's also very feminine. And he's holding out his hands like this. He holds the two powers and he holds them in balance, and they are powers. But at the same time, he's not powerful in like a false, like macho kind of powerful way. He's saying, just like he's reminding me, like in one of the readings, he was saying, you know, not feminine in the way like you get all girly, but he's also saying this about the masculine energy. Not masculine in the way where you're all macho and you're all tough. This is what our society says about these things. And what we've all been taught. What you've been taught and what we've all been taught through the media and all these various ways. For some reason, he wants you to understand that what you're bringing out is your feminine power. When you're talking about these psychic abilities, your ability to manifest what you are seeing. Okay. Like he was saying in one of your other readings, this was similar thing was coming through. He was saying the feminine energy is what holds the desire. Maybe this was one of your readings, or it might be reminding me of somebody else's. I don't know. But the feminine energy holds the desire. The masculine energy manifests it. But the power in it is that it's like you also know what you want to bring through. You know what the desire is. So this is a psychic intuition. So he's mastered both of these things. He can manifest very easily, and he also has psychic power. And these two powers, both are powers, and when you combine them, he's saying you're a whole person. You're a complete person. This guide, he always says specific things. He more focuses on, I don't know, like he's more focusing on teaching you things. Or past life connections and stuff like this, symbols, not so much like your present life, which is what normally comes through, unless it doesn't have to do it all with the person's questions. A lot of times, even then, specific things about the present life will come through. He's more focusing on esoteric understandings, is how this guide always feels to me. He's saying to practice discipline, but also to let go. And this is a balance. He's saying this is a balance that you need to incorporate. Like he's showing me almost like a hamster wheel, or like a stationary bike. And it's like the hamster or the person on the bike. It's like they're going and going and going and going and going and going and going until they tire out. So either you're going full speed, yes, you know, or you pull back, no. And he's saying to be in the middle, to not overexert yourself, not do too much and not do too little. To be calm, and he's saying that meditation is your greatest tool. This is your greatest asset. He's specifically talking about knowledge now. He's saying not so much knowledge like gather as much knowledge as I can. It's more about an inner knowing what you want to bring to the world. So the masculine is the aspect of you that brings it into fruition, brings it into the world, or kind of completes the mission. The feminine aspect is the part of you that knows what the mission is. What is it that you're needing to manifest? So this is your psychic ability. Okay, I gotta drink some water. Oh, good, I can put the candle back now. I'm a little happy about that. Okay, now we can get into the tiger's eye. Okay, so he wants me to look up the meaning of tiger's eye, so I'm gonna have to get on the internet for a minute. Tiger's eye stimulates taking action and helps you to make decisions with discernment and understanding and unclouded by your emotions. It helps you to release fear and anxiety. It aids in harmony and balance. Wow, this is like everything he's been covering during the reading. Oh, okay. Gosh, that was another thing that came through for a second, and I think he moved on. I don't know if I said it or not. It's speaking here about self-confidence and strength of will. Actually, oh, this might have come in actually when before I was doing the video reading, when I was surrounding us in light and the sacred space and all that. What was that again? Right, okay, self-confidence and strength of will is what this stone also has to do with, but he was speaking about this coming from like within you, like, okay, because he's saying because then it's permanent, so then it's fixed, it's set, it's solid, and it's not going to go away, it's not going to go anywhere, and your power won't decrease if you're basing it in like a false masculine way, which can come out like appearance, or it can come out by things like your material wealth, or material like your position, or things that you have accomplished, or he's saying even knowledge that you have in like an outer way from things that you gathered to yourself. Then this is like a false confidence. It's taken from things on the outside, and those things can go away. So it should manifest on the outside from within you. And if it does come from the outside, it's still coming from within you. So he's talking about if it does come from the outside, it would come from like a guide or some being that is higher energetically that we can't see. And so in that sense, we're still not going to something on the outside of us since they're not physical. We can't see them. So we still have to go within to tap into their knowledge, their resources. He's saying that a lot of people are going to the outside. Everybody is going to the outside. And I get a feeling of even around you, like family. Like you are more spiritual, you go more within. Most of the people around you, or even all of the people around you, tend to go more without. And you're a rare exception in this way. He's saying you have the ability to go within and be comforted and confident without taking things from the outside. I feel even in some ways this, he's speaking of even as far as like loneliness, being alone. A lot of star seeds and spiritual people, they have issues with being alone. But there's a feeling that in your case, there still is some of that slightly there, but I also feel that to a pretty high degree, to a large degree, it isn't there as much because you're able to maintain a sense of balance and calm, he's saying. And to go within and feel empowered by yourself. So he wants you to increase that. He's saying then your psychic abilities will increase. He's saying to be alone and they'll increase. So be in meditation. He's saying be in silence. Don't talk a lot, he's saying. Go within, practice going within and being more internal versus being external. So if you want to increase your psychic abilities, since this is a more feminine energy, it's a more inward energy, it means going within and not being external so much. Right, yeah, like obviously you have to be external to some degree. You can't just sit there like a Buddha and meditate all day or all night or all weekend or something. You have, we live lives and have things that we must do. Must. And that's, I don't say must. It's his language. So he's saying there are two powers, but one is about growing your power from within, this power. And then it's almost like what he's saying is it's like the same power really. It's one power, it's one force, obviously. but it's like it starts within you. You feel it growing within you, and then you push it out. I almost feel like he's referring to, he's saying feminine again. He's almost referring to a pregnancy here, is what it feels like. And then the baby grows, then you feed it, you put clothes on it, and it becomes whatever it's going to be, and it takes on an energy of its own, like its own life force. So you began it, but then it grew on its own. He's saying being alone is your power right now. Feels like who you are without external distractions as much as possible. So he's saying like things like no TV, eating like very clean, drinking very clean. Exercising, but purely to flush toxins out of the body, not for an appearance in any way, not to get stronger or look bigger. Like he's giving a for instance of jogging, like a jogger. Well, he's jogging. He's not running full speed. And it's not about getting faster or even really building strength. If you're jogging, this is a slower pace thing. This is about releasing sweat out of the body, releasing toxins from the body, but it's also to relax yourself. That's another point he's making. If you're running full speed, this is more of a tense exercise. You're not very relaxed, really, and your mind isn't as still, he's saying. Because there's a lot of adrenaline going through your body. There's a rush. And he's almost giving an energy of like what your body goes through almost when you're running. You're pushing, and it's almost going to collapse. He's showing me the hamster thing again, but that when he was referring to this hamster thing, that was more of a mental thing that he was referring to. Like mental and emotional extremes, or even physical ones, but not so much in the way of exercise, like you do something to the extreme. And then you let it go and don't do anything at all. So keeping the balance in the middle. But this he's more referring, he's talking about a physical thing now though. He's talking about doing a light exercise that's just to remove toxins from the body and isn't appearance based. It's not for an appearance or for strength either. So it's not masculine in a physical way, in a body centered kind of way, because that's, he's saying that's false, which is true. This is more of like like a false masculine. If not that working out with your body is false, obviously, but when a person gains their confidence from that, when they gain their confidence appearance based, this is a false masculine. if they're working out to show power versus gaining their confidence from within and then manifesting it outwardly, showing it outwardly by just being who they are. So he's saying that exercise should be for exercise only, but he does want you to exercise. So he would want you to be exercising regularly, is the feeling coming in, to make this like a discipline, but find something that's relaxing, that's going to be opening your chakras. Okay, this just makes me think of yoga or something like that. And I want to breathe really deep all of a sudden. So that's got to be yoga, something that's focusing on your breath. And also, he's also saying something that's focusing on the feminine and the masculine energies at once during the movement, during the exercise. This is 100% yoga. It must be. Don't know what else this would be. And to make this a regular, disciplined, almost routine. But at the same time, he's saying this again, to be relaxed about it. So if you can't do it one day, for whatever reason, or you don't feel to do it one day, then cut yourself some slack. It's about being calm. But he's just giving you, his mind. He's saying his mind, his thoughts about, since you're asking about the best way to increase your psychic abilities. And even this other one that you're asking, your ability to control the weather, increasing this, he's saying this all comes from an inner mastery, an inner discipline, but also, again, he's saying from being alone. He's showing me music in your ears. So not having, all these noises. So take them out. Even with meditation, some people really need music to meditate. In your case, I feel like he would be saying, try not having it, silent meditation and silent focusing. And focusing on what you want. If you want to increase your psychic abilities, then you would focus on that. At the same time, everything going into your body is very pure. So what you're eating, what you're drinking is very pure. But also even noises, external noises, this is also going into your body. It's going into your ears, And even cutting back on visual violence, things like this, things that you can help seeing. If it's a movie or something, if it's TV, you can help seeing that. I do feel like you already have some of these things kind of down a bit. So this doesn't exactly feel like it's exactly like coming in like you need to do this in a stern way or something, as if you are not doing it at all. This feels like kind of like you're doing well with a lot of it, but just almost bump it up. Increase being alone in your own space without external distractions. when you see an energy, focus on it. Look at the energy. Like in the one email, you were saying this energy was going around the mountains for 3+ hours. This is really good. You know, this must mean that you were sitting there for a long while observing the energy. If you know that it was there for 3+ hours, you must have kept looking at it or noticing it. And that's what you would want to be doing. You want to for some reason he's saying visually look at it. Okay, but what he means by that is like out in front of you, like with your physical eyes. So not internal. When you're seeing this with your physical eyes, stare at it and like hold it in your gaze. Focus on it. If you want it to increase, pay more attention to it. He's also showing me a journal. He's saying you can write these things down. This again puts more focus on it, puts more attention on it. Okay. So he wants to get to the origin. Right, yeah, and that was the other question. Who are the balls of light? You know, he comes in with a light a lot. I know that you're seeing this, you're saying a lot of the times it's like by a mountain or something. But, you know, if something is around you, it can put itself somewhere out there visually for you. It can project an energy somewhere out where you're going to see it. Because somebody else could be looking at the same mountain and they're probably not going to see it. And you are. So this is something around you. And it's projecting itself in an outward way is what's coming through. So it's not really about the mountain. It's not really about mountains. It's more something trying to get your attention or something that you're seeing projected out where you're going to see it, where you're going to take it in a visual way. He's saying that again. So he means, I don't know why he keeps using that word, but I get the feeling of what he means. He's meaning with your physical eyes. So the balls of light are just your guides, he's saying. This is just your guides that you have around you. Your guides are kind of clapping, but in like a joking way. And there's this energy like, yay, we got through that question. There's more than one guide coming up now. It almost feels like they're having like a little party over here. But Omen is the one talking. But there's a group of them. They kind of feel a little bit similar to Omen in a way. They're all kind of practical people, not really people. Extraterrestrials is more what it feels like to me. I have a second guide coming up. This definitely feels like a more feminine energy, I think. Extremely calm, like I can barely talk, like I barely want to talk. Like I gotta get myself to talk. I feel like they take their time with speaking. If they have something to communicate that has a purpose, they'll talk, you know, then they'll talk to you. If they have nothing to say, they don't chit chat, they don't idle talk. And this is something important for you to learn and to address, she's saying. To never idle talk. Like, don't, like, when you feel awkward, don't start talking about the weather like people do. Just stand there and maybe notice the feeling, but don't act on it. Just keep your mouth shut. Because this is the wrong energy to vocalize from, vocalize yourself from. I don't know how to say that. This is the wrong energy to vocalize. Okay. They all speak in a similar way. But she's saying that then your gifts will come forward when you're silent. There's another really long pause here happening. No, they're showing me, I, I think it's called Vega as the origin. I'm never sure how to pronounce this, if it's Vega or Vega. I think it's Vega. I'm pretty sure, but don't quote me on that. And they're quite logical, but they're emotionally balanced as well. They're not disturbed. So in that sense, they're equally logical and emotional, but in a calm way. They don't really experience like a lot of the other emotions like sadness or grief or anger or anything that would come out in a very outward way. Like even happiness. And that doesn't mean that they aren't content, but that's more how they experience it. Like they'll smile, they'll laugh, but like I even said, it almost feels like they're having a party over here, but in their way, their kind of party, which would be a pretty quiet and pretty telepathic, possibly party, not possibly. They're very quiet, but even telepathically, they don't say a lot to each other. They just feel very still. They're very peaceful. They're very calm. They're very loving. And they are joyful, but it's not a jump up and down and be all excited kind of joyful, because that, they're saying that's out of anxiety a lot of the time. True joy is calm. Now, depending on the circumstance, sure, you might express it in a more outward way. They're saying, especially on Earth with human beings. But they're saying that very often it comes out in the wrong way, or in a less peaceful way, a more disturbed way, where it becomes anxiety and it's not true joy anymore. And it seems like happiness when a person is jumping up and down, and sometimes it is. But sometimes they're picking up on somebody else's anxiety, or they're saying, or it's over something that's kind of, I don't know how to say the right word, but the energy feels like insignificant. Like they get concert tickets or something, something that doesn't really matter, or something that isn't really going to serve them. Maybe concert tickets could serve someone, sure, but you know, some loud concert with like some popular, you know, band, this is probably not going to serve someone, but they might jump up and down and get all excited. So this isn't something that they do. And they also don't pretend to be excited to themselves, because they're saying that that's what it is a lot of the time. Someone is not, their thought forms are excited about something meaningless to their realities. The reality is not jumping up and down. The reality does not care, or the reality would rather not go to the concert that is not going to serve them in reality. It's not going to serve who they really are. So the thought form is just literally using their body to just jump up and down. And the human is acting on this impulse that isn't coming from their real nature. So they don't want you to behave in this way like a normal human. Think about what serves you. What serves you? What's higher? What's good? What will make you excel? And have this on your mind and in your thoughts, but at the same time, let it come from within and not all external and from outside of you. So don't go searching. Doesn't mean that you can't research or that you can't study, but then go within and switch your opinion if the internal is giving you something different. So go with your intuition and what you're feeling above over an external source, even if you're feeling to look up something or to research something. It should still ultimately come from within you. Okay, right, obviously, but this is your origin as well. Now they were also showing me Lyra, and they're showing me that again, showing me something with Lyra. But I think Vega and Lyra, I think a lot of times they have something to do with one another. I don't know if they're close by one another. I should probably look this up. Or if there's just some, like, a lot of interaction between them. Yeah, there is a lot of interaction. I definitely feel that from these guides, that Lyra and Vega are pretty connected somehow. And I feel almost like there's almost like a pact between Lyra and Vega, or that there's a lot of interaction and almost like alliances between these two, and even almost like that some of the Lyrans and some of the vegans um, almost consider each other like parts of the same offshoots of the same species, almost the same like strand. They're kind of giving me a sense that some of our human DNA even comes from them, and some other places like Pleiades, places like this, have similar strands to them. So they're humanoid in appearance. They're showing me very white, pale skin. But they're also saying that they're not Anunnaki, and that they're not trying to control. And they're saying that this wouldn't be out of a calm. This would be out of like a need to take something from another, need to control another, or victimize someone else, is what the Anunnaki did. So they're saying that this isn't their intention, but they do have siblings in a lot of places. I don't know if they have created these. That isn't exactly coming through. I'm not really sure how that works, or who created what. But what is coming through is that they have other humanoids who are like them on other planets and other places. So she's saying to take all this into account, consider it, and then go with what you intuitively feel and think, and honor that. And honor that above what they are saying. She definitely speaks in a very regal way, but also in a kind of laid back and relaxed way at the same time. It's calm and it's calming and it's soothing. There's no arrogance about it, but at the same time, there is kind of a regalness about it, or a sophistication with them. But I almost feel like she's saying that comes when you are calmer. So it's not really sophistication, it's really just calmness. And you act in a certain way when you're coming from a certain space, when you are calmer. You're more giving, you're more loving in an outward way. So you show more love when you love what's inside of you, when you are calmer, when you're feeling well balanced, then you don't you don't act out in a violent way or in an imbalanced way toward others. So they know how to treat people. And it comes from that. It comes from their heart space, but also from their mind and the way that they conduct themselves, the way that they feel and the way that they think about things, and how they should be, the conclusions they come to about how a person should operate. So this is what they want you to do. Consider what is best for you and learn from what isn't the best for you by observing others. Learn what's good and what's bad. Take what's good and leave the rest. Yeah, our time is up. Well, thank you very much. She says, thank you very much. She says, our time is up. Thank you very much. That's normally what I say. Feel really, really, really relaxed to the point of almost being a little out of it right now. Not really out of it. I just don't want to do anything. I don't want to talk. I don't even want to say bye, thanks for watching or whatever, but I'm going to. So the game, thank you very much again for allowing me to do this reading for you. And of course, I hope that this benefits you in some way. Thank you very much.